guys, today I am so excited to talk about some of my essential brushes. These are brushes that are my everyday go-to staples. They're my ride or dies. They're the ones that I use on myself during my tutorials and also just every day, and also too I use them on my clients, so with washing them in between, of course. So as you can tell, the first brush that I have up here has been used, and it's definitely one of my favorites. It's actually a powder brush from Sigma Beauty. And this brush I like a lot too because it has a multi-purpose duality to it. So you could actually use this brush easily with any kind of translucent powder for blending. You can also use it with bronzer as a contour brush. So I've used this just to kind of create a little bit of edge and shape and contour along the cheek. And then of course, any kind of powder, I've used it to press and set my concealer a little bit around the nose, around the chin, and the forehead. It's definitely super versatile, and I love that it's tapered and super soft. So once again, sorry guys, it's a little bit dirty on top because I just used this. I cannot let this one go. And as you could tell, it's really built nicely into the ferrule of the brush too, so it doesn't loosen up. I've had this for about 3 months and it's retained its shape very well after quite a bit of washes. And then speaking of how do I wash it, I just use a gentle soap and a cleanser. And then when I actually lay the brushes out to dry, I squeeze out the excess moisture and water, and then I lay them flat on a table like this. You want to pop your brushes back into a canister or your cup holder when they're wet, because what happens is water will seep into the brushes and then into the ferrule, and then it's actually going to cause the ferrule of the brush to start loosening up and then falling apart. So just a little tidbit about how to kind of extend the life of your brushes as well. The next brush I am obsessed with. I pretty much use this for any cream or liquid product. This is from Sigma Beauty and it's the F80 tapered kabuki brush. What I love most about this is that it actually allows you to blend evenly and spread any kind of liquid or cream product along the complexion totally evenly. Okay, so it deposits just the right amount of product. And this is a brush too that's also synthetic. So it's super gentle if you are sensitive to natural bristle brushes. And it's also great too because it allows you to actually quickly do the job and blend your foundation and perhaps blend your concealer in really quick, nice sweeps. So I just love the way this feels and the way that it goes on too. And when I'm applying it, I'm using a buffing and rolling action. So one of my favorites, this one is once again from Sigma Beauty. I'm actually gonna list all of the brushes that are my go-to favorites below in the description box, so you guys will have all of those listed with the pricing as well. So this is definitely a great staple for any foundation, concealer, liquid product, and even perhaps a cream bronzer that you just wanna sculpt and build out along the complexion. So definite favorite of mine. The next brush that I am obsessed with, and that's part of one of my staples as well, my go-to brushes, is another brush from Sigma Beauty, and this is the Dual Fiber F15 brush. Now, this brush has multiple uses as well. I will use this to blend out any kind of cream or powder blush onto the cheeks. I will also use this to gently dust on any kind of powder bronzer or even a liquid bronzer. So it just nicely diffuses your application, and it's almost has this dual kind of fiber consistency. So the brushes on top are very fine, and then it's a little bit more condensed here at the bottom. So this really allows you to control the delivery of whatever product you're applying. I will actually also use this with a powder highlighter. So I love to kind of highlight the top area of my cheek a little bit underneath the eyes after I've concealed, and I'll often just pat this with a very kind of sheer luminescent highlighter over my concealer, or I'll use a cream or a liquid highlighter and I'll highlight the high parts of my cheek with it as well. So there's a really great dual purpose with this dual fiber brush, and definitely one of my staples, and it's also synthetic. So if you have allergies to natural bristle brushes, this is another favorite as well. It's sure to become a favorite, I should say, and a staple. The next brush that is also my go-to favorite tool to use on myself during tutorials, on my clients, is my Rouge Bunny Rouge Cheek Blusher 002 brush. Now this brush deposits the perfect amount of color, and it's slightly rounded and domed, so you're actually getting the perfect amount of application and color payoff when you're actually blending it on. So my favorite way to actually apply this is I'll go into my blush product, and then I'll just kind of tap along where I want to apply my cheek color, and then I'll buff it out. It gives you really great control, and it's also great for sculpting. So if you're sculpting a blush and you just kind of want to apply it to the underside of the cheek, it allows you to do that and then blend it out. You can also do the same thing with a powder bronzer if you want to contour. So if you contour with a powder bronzer, you would just, once again, build it out a little bit, create a line, and then easily buff it up into the complexion easily. So definitely a favorite of mine. This one is a natural bristle brush. I'm going to pop in the details of the actual fibers and all about this brush down below, along with the rest of them too. Okay, another favorite brush of mine is a brush that I discovered at the makeup show in Chicago a little over a month ago. The minute I saw it, I knew I had to have it, and I'm so glad that I purchased it, and at an amazing price too. This is from Crown Brush, and this is also a completely synthetic brush, and it's super fluffy. So this is a Kabuki fan brush, and the exact number is SS023. It's a jumbo Kabuki fan. I have so many ways that I use this brush, so I'm pretty obsessed. So I will actually use this with bronzer, and the reason why I love it with bronzer is because it just deposits the perfect light feathery amount of bronzer without looking overdone. So it's really great for creating like a nice, lovely, natural looking sun-kissed complexion. I will actually even use this with my highlighter. So I've been using this with powders. I haven't used this with a cream yet. So when I'll explore a little bit more, and perhaps in a future tutorial, I'll use this with a cream and maybe show you guys how it will work. Hopefully it'll work well. But for now, it works amazing with powder. So I'll also use this with a kind of like a luminizing powder highlighter. And then I'll just dust this once again along the tops of my cheeks, or the very high parts of my cheeks. And then perhaps I'll pop a little bit of highlighter a little bit above my brows. And this is also great for a delicate contour, especially if I'm applying bronzer along the jaw and the chin. It diffuses everything nicely. And another key benefit too is if you're working with clients or on yourself, you can even dust this along the collarbone or perhaps the shoulders with any favorite, perhaps liquid or powder highlighter. So definitely an amazing brush. I'll once again list where you can find this brush down below. Total staple, go-to, and fave. Now let's move on to the eyes. So I have several favorite go-to brushes for the eyes that I use every day, and that just really make my eyeshadow and eyeliner application effortless and easy. The first brush is from Rouge Bunny Rouge, and it's a large shader brush. It's called Large Shader 003, and it's slightly domed. It's about medium sized. So this is a great brush to deposit any kind of mid-tone, light shade, or even a deeper shade along the lid. So you can easily pack on an eyeshadow color and then sweep it and blend it out. So it's really a foolproof brush, and it's easy to use and easy to control. So love this brush a lot. This is totally one of my favorites for, once again, an all over color placement, blending out, or packing on color. The next brush that I really am obsessed with and that I use every day is also from, well, this actually is from Sigma Beauty. So this is the Medium Sweeper E54. Notice that it's small and it's flat and slightly ever so domed on top, so it's a little bit curved. This is a really great brush for packing on and tapping any kind of mid-tone color, or perhaps if you're doing a smoky eye and you want to concentrate a color on the outer edges of the eye, it's really great for like packing and tapping and then blending. You can also actually use this brush with a lighter color, and you can apply it to the inner corners of the eye and gently pack in and blend out. So really great staple. Another way that you can also use it is if you're applying a darker eyeshadow and creating kind of like a smudgy effect, a diffused effect along the lower lashes, you could easily take it and just run it along the lower lash line to blend out. So awesome brush, Sigma Beauty. Next brush that I love and is actually a dupe to the MAC 217 brush. So this is from Crown Brush, excuse me. And this is the C433 Pro Blending Fluff. From the videos that I've watched on YouTube and from the actual brush that I've seen from MAC, that's the 217, this really is the perfect dupe because it's the same shape and about the same size. And it's perfect for like all around blending and patting on color. So whether you're using a light shade or you're going more smoky, it'll allow you to deposit and blend evenly at the same time. So great brush, nice staple, and this is a natural bristle brush. The next brush that I absolutely love is from Armani Beauty. This is, I think it's called their number 43 brush. If I'm incorrect, you know what, I will list it down below. This is a really great fluffy blending brush. It is expensive. I think this one is definitely over $35 from what I can recall. However, I have had this brush for 7 or 8 years and it has not frayed or changed its shape at all. It is a natural bristle brush and I think it's squirrel hair. So this is actually like a really nice fluffy, soft blending brush. So if you're doing a smoky eye and you need to blend out the color that you've applied, this is really great for softening and blending out any harsh edges. It's also great for tapping in a light shimmery shade, perhaps along the inner corners of the eye. So definitely one of my favorites and a go-to staple. The next brush is a eyelining brush, and this one is from Sigma Beauty. It's the E05 brush. It's a super fine eyelining brush. So this is really great to get that nice perfect definition and tight line along the top lashes, especially if you're using a gel or a liquid or a cream based liner. Another trick with this too is when I've applied a pencil eyeliner and I've winged out my eye a little bit, if I want to further diffuse and wing out that line, I could easily just go in and use the underside of the line with this brush to further accentuate and bring out that line. So it's kind of great for perfecting as well. That really works well with a pencil or like a kohl eyeliner versus a liquid liner, which will dry a lot faster. So just a little trick that I like to throw in there. But yeah, this is definitely one of my favorites, and it's nice, it has precision, it's tight on top, and it just gives you a really nice, tightly defined, expertly drawn line without any kind of fuss. So definitely a great tool to have. Last but not least, it's all about the brows. So this is one of my favorite brushes from Rouge. It's the Brows and Lashes 007 brush. It's dual-ended. So what I will do most often is I will take this side initially when I'm shaping and grooming my brows up. I'll also back comb my brows with this brush to just add a little bit of thickness and know where I need to fill in when I'm filling in with an eyebrow pencil. The other side is a comb, and this comb I actually use along the lashes. Let's say I've applied like too much mascara, I'll actually go in and I'll redefine and lift off any excess mascara with this comb. And this is really great too for grooming up the brow hairs after you fill them in, just to kind of diffuse them a little bit and to soften out any excess color. I've actually never used this on the lashes just because I'll just simply use a mascara wand, but this works really great on the brows as well. So definitely one of my staples, and it really allows me to achieve a little bit more of a natural looking, well-defined yet brushed out, perfectly groomed brow. So I hope you guys enjoyed this rundown of some of my favorite go-to makeup brush essentials. These are essentials that I think work for anyone that's new to makeup or a pro makeup artist. They're all super versatile. Once again, I'm going to list them down below and list the pricing as well, where you can find them. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe as well. Thanks guys, have a great day and a great week.